85% of people prefer text over email and phone calls because they want to engage in a conversation. All text messaging is not equal. Customers respond to people, not bots. Be more like people and start having conversations that end in conversions. Use Scipio.
So, as you know, I have 2 podcasts. And the first question that on my other podcast, the Closet Nerd podcast, my brother always asks me, what's the nerdiest thing I did this last week?
Okay.
And normally I feel like I have a good answer. It's like, I delved deep in some wiki, or I, reconfigured something. But I just don't, my life has been consumed by my children and cryptocurrency. And that's,
cryptocurrency is nerdy.
Yeah, but I've already talked about that too much.
I agree.
What's the nerdiest thing you did?
Define nerd.
Well, so we call it the Closet Nerd podcast. So really, it's anything. Anything that you would think. It could be an engineering thing. It could be a computer thing. It could be.
That's what I'm saying. Is
we usually talk about movies and TV shows and stuff. But
so that's neither of the 2 things you just named.
Like Marvel
computer
movies.
Engineering, and then said, movies.
Well, like Star Wars and Marvel.
Okay,
stuff.
I don't know if this counts. I just binge watched 40 episodes. Have you ever heard of the video game Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney? Objection? Yes.
Objection.
Perfect. So the games, I actually really like the games. So they're basically point and click adventure type games where you're basically a defense lawyer and you go around and you investigate crimes and all this stuff. And it's funny. It's very satirical. It plays very much on Japanese anime stereotypes and silly things, but I just watched 40 episodes of the TV show for it.
And
it's funny. It's funny and good. You can find the whole thing on YouTube, so if you're interested, thieves, look it up, I guess. But it's funny and nerdy and it's fine.
Were you like a Dragon Ball guy at all?
No, not really. I'm not really an anything guy in that anime Japanese cartoon genre. But I liked Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
There you go.
So legal dramas are I'm all for it.
Have you ever played any of the Persona games?
My brother was really into Persona growing up, so I very occasionally would play a little Persona.
There's a podcast I listen to called Filthy Casuals, and they just talk about video games, and it's I vicariously. It's they play them, and feels like I've played them too.
Persona through that,
and they're huge on Persona stuff. But
that's awesome.
I watched Invincible. I've been watching Shadow and Bone. Have you seen Shadow and Bone?
I have not seen Shadow and Bone, but I keep hearing about it.
It's good, man.
Is it? What's the genre? I don't know. I don't even know.
It's I would say it's in the same genre of Game of Thrones, like that. Okay. Level of fantasy, it's kind of grounded fantasy. Yeah, medieval grounded, a little steampunky, but there's guns in it.
Is it based on a book or is it just?
It is. It's based on a book series. And when I first saw I saw an ad on Twitter, and then my brother recommended it, and I was like, I don't know if I like this, but I was like, no, this is actually really. It's a fun. It's on Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah, it's got a fun pacing to it. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Anyway. Shadow and Bone, man.
I recommend it. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. If you want to play the games, if you're interested in a point and click adventure type game, it's $1.99 on iPhone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The whole game?
And it's great on iPhone. There's really no reason that you would need to play it on anything else.
Maybe I'll take you up on that.
Another game that's actually really good on iPhone is there is a new Oregon Trail game on iPhone. What? And it is so fun.
Is it?
The quality is high, the strategy and difficulty element is very high. I have still not had a successful trip to Oregon, and I've been playing it for probably 6 hours. And
is it vertical or horizontal?
It is horizontal, which I don't like that it's horizontal, and it could totally be vertical, but it is horizontal, and I don't like that. I have a huge phone.
Steal this idea. I would pay $20 for a company, and that's all they did
is convert. Agreed, because I cannot play a horizontal game. It sucks.
I don't care if it's tiny. I don't care. I just want to play it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So that's a couple of what do we call that segment?
Well,
what you watch.
What you watch and can I watch it with you?
So there's some games and some shows that you can watch with Scott.
I guess we'll do a podcast now.
Let's do it.
You're a thief and a liar.
I only lied about being a thief.
Steal.
Lie.
We're gonna steal the ship.
Commandant, Lord Lieutenant.
An idea that is fully formed, fully understood, that sticks.
Will someone like you just steal?
Ideas are bulletproof.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Steal this idea.
Hello again, the lovely thieves.
We're back.
We are back. Took a little week off. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes in the podcasting world, we need our own little spring break.
That's right.
And we know Andre, that's all he's been doing is basking in the sun.
That's right. I'm outside 24/7 at the beach, basically.
Do you think, Andre, that's what you have 2 cats?
Mm-hmm.
How far away are you realistically from like, maybe we could get another cat? Like, do you think it's even in the cards?
Pretty close. Honestly, pretty close. Just last week we were talking about, so we love our cats, and both of them came to us by way of rescue and happenstance, basically. But we have essentially like 2 color patterns that we really like. We have an orange cat and then a calico cat. And there's like one other color pattern that we really would love, like just another type of cat, basically, that I grew up with.
Not a black cat?
Not a black cat. I grew up with a really mean black cat. I am out on black cats.
I had a black cat. He had a white chest. We called them Tux.
Which is cute.
Well, I'm sure that I did not treat him with the best respect as a young kid. I mean, I thought I was having fun, but
I'm sure.
It
probably wasn't so fun.
Yeah. Anyway, he did not like.
Why do you ask? Do you have a cat in your barn that you need to offload?
So I got all these cats.
Mm-hmm.
What's the most you'd pay for a cat right
Honestly,
now?
like if you were like, I just rescued 3 kittens, I would probably drive down right now and pick one up.
Well, not to get off in the rails here, thieves. Welcome to the Steal This Idea podcast, the only podcast where every week, just about every week, me and Andre give out $1 million business ideas for you to steal. These are real business ideas that you can just start. You can start an LLC. You can listen to the last 87 episodes, and there are lots of good ideas to steal. Andre, what's an episode that we've had in the last 87 episodes that maybe you say that's still stealable? There's so many.
I'm trying to think of one that I haven't talked about recently, because we've done this segment a couple of times recently, and I don't want to keep going back to the same old.
What about us? What about a maze? Did we talk about that one?
Yeah, so a maze was an idea that our friend Skylar brought to the podcast, where essentially a company might buy a warehouse space and build out this like really awesome, cool, glow-in-the-dark, flashing lights themed maze, and then constantly interchange different pieces like each day to make the maze different, more challenging or less challenging, and then time people as they go through the maze. It's just like a really high throughput recreation idea.
Yeah, and I think we talked about one, it's kind of like the sensation of a corn maze, which people like corn mazes, but indoors all year round. And then 2, this idea that you could like kind of badge in, it was like you didn't have to like go to the service desk, like maybe at first, but like, hey, let's check out the maze, and you just like beep in or whatever. You can just like run the gamut.
Like one of the very few recreational ideas that could be so simple. It's just showing up and like Apple Paying, and not even needing to talk to anybody, which would be awesome.
Yeah. So if
kind of a chapter of like the Steal This Idea book that covers bowling alternatives, essentially, which is a topic that we've discussed like infinitely. It's just what are things that you can do with your friends for fun that aren't bowling. A maze is one of those. We had what was your indoor like movie theater revamp idea?
There's Prime Time. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes, I think so.
I also talked about one. I can't even remember the name of it was, but basically it's kind of like a large slingshot with like targets. Do you remember talking about this?
Oh yeah, that's right. We did. That was more recent.
Almost like Angry Birds. You like pull back and like try and hit targets in a lane. We also talked about.
No, you pitched that as like a batting cage idea.
Well, there's a different one.
I don't think you pitched a slingshot one.
Really? Oh, maybe that was on my back burner.
But you did pitch a batting cage alternative.
Sluggers is the one you're talking about. Where basically it's like Top Golf meets a batting cage, where you're trying to hit balls into, nets and areas, but with a baseball motion and not a golf motion. Lots of fun ideas, Steves.
We are rolling in fun ideas.
we got a show for you. Good show for you. I got an idea that's, I guess we'll call it a workshop, but I think mostly there, but I think we could maybe flesh it out and make it even bigger. And then you've got a problem that we want to try and solve. Before we get into that, let's do a little good idea, bad idea. What you got for me, Andre?
Well, first, you foolish podcast host. This is Good Idea, Bad Idea, the segment of the show where Scott and I go through our Facebook and Instagram feeds and we look at all those goofy products and ads and we bring them to the show and we ask one simple question. What is that question, Scott?
Is it a good idea or is it a bad idea?
That's right. I will go first. So click my first link. This one's a little bit tough, but I'll make it a little easier for you. Just Google Dipple, D-I-P-L-E microscope. Dipple microscope. The actual website is dipple.smartmicrooptics.com. So, or you can type that in, but it's easier to just Google Dipple. And what Dipple is an attachment for your smartphone. It looks iPhone compatible. It might be Android compatible. And essentially, it can turn your iPhone into a microscope. You can put things like leaves under it and see them in full rich magnification. They have kits up to 150x magnification. So at that point, you're seeing cell details and bacteria. You're really getting into it. And then their lowest model, 35x magnification. So you can see 3 microns. You can see some cells, microorganisms, and stuff like that. I think I saw this on Instagram, which is an interesting place for it. What do you think, Scott?
I think this is awesome.
I think so too. It maybe seems a little bit useless. But yeah. I think for you especially, right? For me, how many applications do I have? But you can use this to teach your kids as like kind of a fun science experiment. Let's go dig some stuff up and put it under the microscope.
Well, yeah, one of the cool things about a microscope is that you get a similar sensation, at least for a kid, as like a kaleidoscope, where it's like, what's this look like? And it's kind of this never ending, which the thought of doing that with my kids sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I could see my oldest loving something like this, and yeah, I love that it goes with your smartphone, which they know, and it's just there. Getting a big specifically microscope could be kind of clunky. This looks like it's the size of like a small portable hard drive or something like that. It's like not very big.
Yeah, it's tiny. So the only place today you can buy it, unfortunately, is Indiegogo. So their cheapest, least magnification model goes for $40, and their kind of best kit is $93, which seems about right to me.
Yeah.
And this seems a lot more usable than if you were to buy a whole microscope.
Totally. And that would probably cost you close to $100, I imagine, to get like a microscope. Yeah.
So do you want to hear how I would take this company and take it from a $300,000 Indiegogo project to like a multi-million-dollar company?
Sure.
So for a long time, I think I maybe have mentioned this on the podcast. For a long time, I worked in ed tech. And when you work in ed tech, you learn a lot about education and how it works and like vendors for education.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of companies that make a good amount of money basically making like math kits, when you play with the blocks at school. Somebody made those blocks, like somebody produced those. Any lab, like any activity that you ever did in science class, 99.9% of them are made by a company that sells classroom kits.
Right.
So I think you take Dipple and you package it for schools in units of 30, and you pitch every biology classroom in America and say, maybe you do the lowest, the $39 unit. It's a couple $100. There's some volume discount. A school maybe buys 2 or 3 30-unit classroom packages. It has 30. Every kid in your classroom, or most, will have somebody in a group of 5 kids. One of them will have an iPhone.
Yeah. And
you can do fun biology labs that you usually wouldn't do and go out. And these things are really common, right? Everybody did this in 9th, 10th grade biology, some sort of microscope.
It seems surprising that this isn't just a classroom play.
I think that probably their thought was, we figured out a way to make a microscope that works really well on your iPhone, and they probably just haven't had the foresight or expertise to see how you can make a lot more money than just selling single units of microscopes,
site.
which are really, you're only ever going to get dads that want to do science experiments with their kids.
Yeah.
So make that a lot larger and sell it to schools that actually like have a budget for microscopes, right?
Totally.
And give a microscope to every kid and like have them the same thing we're talking about, going outside and picking up dirt and looking at it under a microscope and writing your observations.
Totally.
That's what you do in school.
Dipple. Great idea. We have a deluge of bad ideas on this show often.
We have some good ones today.
This is a good one. All right. I want you to click this one. And before you fits around, we're going to play a game.
Okay.
I also do not know what this website.
I clicked off the tab. I opened it, but I clicked off. I'm not looking right now.
So I got an ad for this, and when you open the tab, the ad is basically what I saw. So if you go to trychaos.ai, this is all the ad was just this. It says chaos. Activate your ideas, and it's like a big circle with like glittery. So what do you think this is?
First of all, instantly, you want it, right?
I mean, it's
that first page. It's like the coolest thing you've ever seen.
Yeah, it's like a crystal ball, like a blue and pink and purple crystal ball, just
rotating around. Chaos. Activate your ideas. It says chaos helps you activate your theories, memories, emotions, insights, and thoughts. I have no idea what it is.
Yeah. So this is what's so strange to me. So someone's paying, I mean,
dollars,
per click. And it's like, oh, let's go to the website and see what it is. And still, it's like, it just says beta launching spring 2021, request access. It's just like, what?
Yeah. What am I even looking at?
What am I even looking at? What? How?
I am signing up for the pre-launch list because I am curious enough. Product like mind organization.
So I'm going to the Instagram and
that
like
interests
it's
me.
Still pretty samey.
No,
I'm seeing some
on the Instagram.
The problem we face are complex and global. Chaos's mission is to accelerate the shift to a culture that values rational, logical, and collaborative thinking. Okay.
It says Chaos uses AI to supercharge your mind and make the process of thinking engaging and collaborative. But there's no screenshot. It looks like it's probably an iPhone app because in the pre-launch survey, it asked me if I had an Android or an iPhone, and it asked for my phone number. So typically, someday they'll launch, they'll send me a link to an app. I'll download the app. It's probably like a note-taking app or a like to-do list app, of which there are hundreds, and they have some sort of AI. This is all conjecture, right? This is my best guess based on a website with no information. That seems like a pretty fair guess.
I'm now like scrubbing through Twitter to figure out. So Brian Fico is the owner, apparently. He says, stumbled upon a spreadsheet I created in 2017 with 207 ideas in it. All of us walk around generating new ideas every single day. 99% are never given a chance to turn to something more. Try Chaos is going to change this. So, yeah, I wonder if it's...
Or, Brian, you could just start a podcast.
Hello. Steal this idea. Send us your ideas. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting that we have no idea what this is. They're paying for ads. It's all based on intrigue. I mean, maybe this works. Maybe it's a successful. Let me know if you get a.
I will. I'll let you know. Try chaos.ai. Thieves, even if you're not interested, you should check out the website because the website is just delightful. I could look at that top banner screen for the rest of the night.
Yeah, that'd be a good. To me. Imagine that being like your desktop background, just like that.
That'd be awesome.
And then you woke up and said, "Good morning, Andre."
That would be awesome. That's an app that they should make.
Okay, what's your last one here?
So this is discoverpresence.co.
I got an ad for this. I was gonna bring this one.
Discoverpresence.co is the quote board, digital quote board for your house. Essentially, it connects with an app, and it allows you to select different quotes to cycle through this attractive little kind of photo screen that puts out, attractive looking quotes with pictures and things like that. It's a little bit hard to envision, but you can kind of picture an iPad on a little stand.
It reminded me of the Facebook portal.
Mm-hmm. It has that same aesthetic.
One of the things I love about this website, and this is stupid, but if you scroll down 2/3 of the way, there's a lady working out, and the where the thing is located is just like perfectly centered right next to her butt.
Yes. So when you're looking at it, and it's also an Anne Frank quote, which is a little bit like distasteful for the image. Not what I would have done as a marketing executive. But overall, the device looks very attractive. The quotes, I am personally, it's very out of character for me, but I'm personally quite influenced by quotes.
Oh, really?
A daily inspiring quote actually kind of is kind of fuel for the mind. It gives me something to kind of think about. What does it mean? Does it relate to my life? I don't know. I like quotes. I just do. So I'm actually kind of interested in the idea.
So I remember seeing this and I was like, so this is like a smart picture frame, but it only does quotes and it's almost $200.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
I know it's not a great value
because you can get a Google Home that is like literally a computer
and can do this exact same thing.
You can do this exact same thing and also do like video calls and like play YouTube videos. Yeah. And I know I recognize this does look more handsome, but I don't know, man. Like I just have a hard time. I wish it just had some, and did you also catch that it has 1 year of premium subscription?
I was just about to say. So under every product, it says includes 1 year premium subscription, which implies that for year 2, you're going to be
paying for this.
For quotes?
You're paying for quotes, baby.
Which makes no sense. I don't understand at all how somebody can sell somebody else's quotes. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
but, I mean the app does look nice.
The presentation of quotes, I don't know. I just hate. This is the epitome of stuff that just pisses me off. It's just like
I know.
It's like let's just like package this thing and we'll charge a monthly fee for it, and
Now that you say like a Google Home or an Alexa, because there are Alexas with screens as well, it does make me actually want to look into buying one of those with the idea that it wouldn't look like a tacky equipment piece. It could kind of model the same with the right screensaver. It could look a lot like this.
I wonder
give me that same inspirational value and also all the other features.
Maybe this exists, but if it doesn't, it should. Surely there are apps made for Google Home and Alexa Homes or whatever that basically just took. If you got a graphic designer, and even if you're just like somewhat graphically enhanced or and you just knocked out a couple hundred quotes, like there are free quotes online. You could aggregate the quotes really easily, put them in Canva or wherever, and then just make a huge photo library.
I could do it. I mean, it would take the fun out of it because I wouldn't have already gone through that ideation process. I would have had to pick all the quotes, and then I would have already thought about all the quotes, and then I wouldn't be pleasantly surprised by the quotes. But that's how simple the idea is, that almost anybody could put together kind of a quote.
And you charge 99 cents, and it's like, hey, here's 1,000 quotes, and they're all custom designed, and great. I would probably pay for that.
Yeah. If you already had a Google Home or an Alexa, and you liked quotes, and it would give you a nice background. Because for me, for example, I wouldn't want it to... Jacob, one of our mutual friends, has a Google Home, and he has it cycling through his pictures. He likes that. I would hate that. But I would like some quotes. I'll look into this more. I will let thieves know if I end up getting a quote Google Home.
Well, that's going to do it, Andre, for Good Idea, Bad Idea. And it's time to move in to the big idea. Now, Andre, the theater of the mind, please.
I love it. I love it.
It's not going to take too much to get there because this idea. So this was, and I apologize because the person who I think tweeted this at us, I can't remember where we got the idea from, but somebody. This is not really my idea, but it was sent to us like, hey, you should talk about this.
Okay.
So it was a stolen idea of a stolen idea. But I kind of thought through it. And I was like, okay, how would I do that? What would it look like? So my oldest child just turned 4, and he got lots of presents. And one of the presents, so we got him some Lego Duplos, which are like kind of the one step above Legos. There's the Mega Blocks, which are the big ones for like little babies or little kids. And then there's like Duplos are in the middle, and then regular Lego. Anyway, so we normally give him Duplo sets because that's like he can do them. It's easy. But one of his neighbor friends, his parents, got him like a regular Lego set. It was a Iron Man spaceship. And
this is why you got to
Thanos
circulate petitions. Kids are
Well-
only eligible for Legos at age X.
Yeah.
That way
I
there's
know.
none
well,
of this.
And I was like, I don't know. And then the box said 4+, and I was like, well, technically,
Yeah.
he's following the rules. And I know they play a lot of Legos, so I was like a little worried at first, but then we started doing it, and he was like, loved it. Easily his favorite present. Of course, it's something we didn't give him, And he just loves like the instruction manual, and he likes to he'll build it all together. He gets stuck here and there, but like generally he can do it. And then he'll like he'll play with it for a while, and then sometimes he'll take it apart, be like, let's build it again.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know my son, and I know that his propensity to like a thing for a certain period of time and then to not like it is common. If you are a parent, you know this. If you're a kid, you know this. You cycle through stuff. Legos are an interesting thing because they are things that part of the joy is building it, and then you've built it. And then maybe you will, collapse it back down and build it again later. But my suspicion is most people are not building and rebuilding that are not really young. They're usually building and then it's built, and then maybe they put it away, almost like a puzzle. So the idea, Andre, that I'm going to pitch to you is an idea called Block Party. And this is a delivery service, a monthly delivery service that is Legos and puzzles and maybe a couple other things, where you are sent a kit to build. And then once you're done with it, you send it back and they send you a new one. So you do not keep it, but for a month's time, you get the thing. Legos are an easy one, I think, but I think you can incorporate a large suite of things like this. One other thing that you could add to this is, and I think I've mentioned this on this show before, are escape room games. Escape room games are generally single playthrough, and then you've played it. We have 15 that we've bought that we really like, but we just kind of loan them out because once you play them, you've played them. So I think you could get kind of single-use games, things like puzzles and Lego kits that, it's, I think the pricing model would be somewhere between $15 to $30 a month. And I think you'd probably have the option to buy it and keep it. Obviously the biggest risk, especially with something like Legos, is losing pieces. But I think as the older you get, the less of a risk that is. I know that's more of a risk for me, but I honestly, if I could pay $20 a month and get a new Lego kit for my kid that we could play with, and then we eventually send it back and got a new one, I think he'd be keen on that. And then, I think being able to add on other single playthrough things would be fun. Block Party.
Block Party is a good idea. What I'm looking up is, I don't know if you ever heard of a service called Toy Guru. They were on Shark Tank a long, long time ago, probably in like season 3.
Is that like
Shark
Kangaroo, but Toy Guru?
Mm-hmm. And what Toy Guru did,
Horrible name.
emphasis on past tense did. What Toy Guru did is essentially build themselves this Netflix for toys, where you would rent toys and then send it back and then get new toys, similar to the original Netflix DVD program.
Yes.
And Toy Guru was not successful for reasons that I think Block Party could be successful. Toy Guru was not successful because they had to inventory and warehouse and ship a ton of toys, and toys are of many varying sizes.
Yes.
So they're difficult to warehouse and they're difficult to ship at a flat shipping price, the way that Netflix is, where DVDs are all the same price. And I think what's nice is Legos and puzzles are all generally, in like 3 size categories.
Yeah, right.
And
Small,
they're all,
medium.
they're all box shaped. So you can get your shipping to a pretty like reliable cadence, and you can get your warehousing. It's obviously much simpler to warehouse a billion Lego toy kits versus, stuffed animals and
and balls.
I don't know, whatever other whatever kids play with, different toys. They're all different
Right.
shapes and sizes. So I like this, and also, just thinking about Toy Guru, what it demonstrates is that actually that not a lot of people have tried to do toy rental services, toy kit subscription type services. It's not a really well trodden area,
Yeah.
but
the
it naturally
one-
makes sense.
Yeah, the one area, because I've thought about an idea like Toy Guru before. I was like, could it work? Especially because I have kids, and we have all these toys. They really cycle through them. I think an interesting area is like bigger toys instead of like there are like, it's like we have some big plastic Paw Patrol-esque toys that are fun, but like they're big and clunky, and usually parents want to get rid of that stuff after a certain period of time. Anyway, I think that's another angle, is just like you pick a lane, whether it's action figures or whether it's like big castle toys or whatever, or kitchen toys or something. Anyway,
the only service that's kind of similar is toylibrary.co. And I don't know how wide, it doesn't look super developed, but they certainly have a lot of Lego kits. You can have 2 toy kits at a time for $12.50 a month, which seems, I think, reasonable. You pick 2 toys each shipment. We mail clean and sanitized toys. Play and return. Keep toys that you like. No charge for normal wear. Just $12.50.
Yeah. So I mean, definitely this model. I think one thing I find interesting is that I think this could really easily play, especially like an Instagram ad. Like I can see the Instagram ad, which is just like relive your childhood, experience, all the latest, newest Lego toys, right? Like this toy kit that Jack got was like awesome. It has like this like spring loaded, missile launcher thing. Yeah. It's just like, wow, this is like cooler than Legos I had, obviously. But like I know he'll get sick of it, and like when the new movie comes out, when the next thing comes out, it's like, especially with like culturally relevant stuff, like I think, just knowing that you're getting something every month, it's something to look forward to. And yeah, I think the price point can get low enough.
I like it.
I think Block Party is a good name too.
Block Party is a great name. Truly like a name for the books as far as good names go.
Yeah. And yeah, I think you have a big fun font and all this kind of stuff, right? And I think with this type of thing, it's like, yeah, or you're part of this ecosystem of people who all kind of enjoy that stuff. I think there's a fun community side to that as well.
So, I mean, a question I have for you is, Scott is of a religion and thereby has a network of families that are local to you and also typically have kids of similar ages to yours. Like, what would stop you from just starting a
local
word
swap
toy, like even if it was just a Lego swap, a word Lego swap?
Yeah, I think that would work on a.
Have you ever heard of such a thing? It seems like this should exist, like just as a community.
Yeah,
benefit.
I know that something like this, things like this, I have seen where it's more permanent, which is just like, hey, what toys you're not using, we'll put a bucket of toys we're not using, and then like you just take these and we'll take yours, and like we'll be done. Because I think the idea of like giving it back is like, well, you just don't know. Like if a kid does lose it, it's like, sorry, do I pay you for this? Like,
yeah, well, I don't think it's so much, at least my vision of how I would design it from a community standpoint is there's no ownership. It's just like, if you're part of the swap, you like whatever you have in your presence or in your current ownership, that's the only toy you own and you're responsible for. So if you lose the pieces, you're basically just out of the toy swap unless you bring something new into the toy swap, because you can't barter and trade your missing set. So then you have a group of parents that are all kind of committed to keeping track of the pieces, keeping them in good shape, keeping the box and manual together.
It's like, oh, my son broke this, so I'm going to then inject the new.
Well, because you have to, because you kind of messed up, right? So it's like, or you just can't be a part of it anymore because you don't have a toy to. It's a swap, right? If you don't have something to swap, then how can you? Yeah. Right. So nobody owns the toy. There's no like, oh, I broke the piece and now I got to Venmo you $20. It's just
part of the chain. If you're not in the chain, you're out of the chain. That's not a bad idea. I wonder. I guess the hardest thing about that would just be like regulating it, just being like getting it on a system, and maybe there's something you could, maybe a simple app or a simple service that you could maybe use to regulate or to kind of remind people.
I think it doesn't have to be so complicated as like we got to hop on the app and check what toys are available. No. I think it's just like you bring them to church on Sunday and it's like, okay, well, we brought our Lego Clone Wars set.
Right.
Does anybody like want to swap for something? Like, it doesn't have to be.
No. I think that for sure can exist and does exist.
Yeah.
I think the
This
benefit-
doesn't kill your idea. The vast
Yeah,
majority
yeah.
of people don't have that. And
Well,
even if you had that, it's like, who knows how sustainable or how long it could possibly last. It would almost be like lightning in a bottle if you caught this like perfect community of people where it's like lots of like-minded children that all like loved
Right.
Legos and wanted to swap and trade every week. Everybody
Well,
kept track of everything. That
and
would
people
be
were-
utopia.
people were taking turns like, okay, I'm going to buy only Marvel ones, and you're going to buy only Harry Potter ones, and you're going to buy only Star Wars ones. And
It would be smart, but that would be like a utopia world that we don't actually live in.
But that would be so. That's where an idea could come in actually. Where if you did have an app, which is just like, so you, yeah, if you could like basically get into some sort of system where you're like putting tags on like the type of toys you would tend to buy, and then so you can kind of see like, oh, in this chain of families or people, these are the things that have already been tagged. Oh, so in that chain they've already chain Star Wars, so I would join that chain. Let me join this chain here. This is the because on this chain no one's picked Star Wars stuff, and then but they they've picked these other things that that kind of interests me too. I wouldn't buy it, but I would get in a chain with those people.
Yeah, and you know how the app would make money is Amazon affiliate links.
Oh yeah.
So it's like you buy it let's say you start. What's your neighborhood called? Do you have a neighborhood name?
Willow Springs.
So you start a Willow Springs toy swap on the Toy Swap app or the Block Party app or whatever we call it. And you hit create group, and now you're the group admin, and you can invite a bunch of people from phone number. And it's like the app helps you to coordinate people just not buying the same stuff.
Yeah.
Same
it's like,
toys.
so like you can see what people have bought or are planning on buying.
Yep. And it's all through Amazon. So you can see exactly like the Amazon listing and all this stuff. And then it's able to generate like recommendations for like what you could add to the toy swap in order to enter it, because you have to bring a toy. Maybe you even have to order a new toy to be part of the toy swap.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Like you got to put table stakes in, where it's like, hey, you're spending $20 a month. It's always from Amazon, and you got to buy a new thing.
Yep.
And you're like participating.
And so because it's through Amazon, it automatically flows into this app with all the right information about how much it costs and how much it XYZ. And as the people who make and develop this app, you just make money when people buy toys. Yeah. And there's like no user cost, which would be the challenge if it was like $1.99.
Yeah.
And it would be annoying if there were ads. So it would be cool to have like this ad-free toy swap app. And as a company, you could make money just on affiliate links.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I wonder if people would, because basically you're committing, 20 times 12, right? Like you're saying like, I will be buying this amount of toys every year.
Yeah.
But what I'm actually getting out of it is like,
I think in each group you could embed like a ROI. I mean, you'd have to present it not as an ROI calculator, because an ROI calculator makes sense to us because we work in software sales.
Right.
But essentially, like there are currently 20 members of this toy swap, which means you get access to X number of dollars worth of toys each month.
Yeah.
And your current contribution is $20. And maybe you're like, oh, I don't want to be a part. Like I have toddlers. They generally are playing with a different level of toys. So I'm going to join the Willow Creek $10 toy swap. Yeah. Or I'm going to start my own toy swap that's for my group of moms, and we just spend a different amount of money on toys.
And it's for a different age range.
Mm-hmm. And so it doesn't have to be $20. There could be $10 toy swaps, and there could be $50 toy swaps, $60 toy swaps where we all switch games or something. I don't know.
$100
$100 toy swaps. That's only an Alpine.
Oh, Alpine. The rich kids.
The rich kids.
Wow. I think we've talked enough about toys. Andre, do you want to talk about your problem that we can maybe solve really quick before we end the episode?
Yeah, because I think it can be pretty fast. So I have talked on the podcast at length about how I love legal dramas. I talked about this earlier in kind of our pre-show, how I just played this game called Phoenix Wright, an adventure storytelling game where you click on things and investigate things and go to court and do all this stuff. And I liked that game a lot. And another game that I presented sometime like a year ago, and it honestly was not a good idea. I've played with it in my mind since. Is an idea of a Twitch stream that plays a recorded court case, because there are hundreds of court cases that are recorded, and Twitch kind of live votes guilty or not guilty, and it's kind of an interactive viewing experience. And that was just another idea that I had, and I still think that that's kind of cool. But
I wonder if you could just do that and see, like, you'd have to get a little bit of Twitch following, right?
Yeah.
But if you were just like, hey, this is what we're going to do. And I think you would also need to have them pre-screened by somebody. Mm-hmm. So like you'd say, hey, find me 3 interesting cases that were like not what you'd expect.
Yeah.
And then you'd watch it live or whatever. Like, so you're like watching it real time, deliberating, and then all the people in the chat are like going like, oh no, new piece of evidence. Like, oh,
and
man.
this was essentially that idea, was you would pre-screen jurors and have actual like a jury that the Twitch stream is like watching, basically deliberate, and you're live seeing how the jury changes their votes over time or changes their leaning or preference. I still think that that's a really cool idea, but the implementation, I don't even know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Someday, like, if I'm really bored, I might just play around with it in Streamlabs because I'm curious. But I still am really interested in this concept. And I was thinking how I liked Phoenix Wright. I was thinking how I also played a game recently called Before Your Eyes. Scott, you should look into this. And Before Your Eyes, what I really liked about it is it's a completely new gameplay concept where your webcam watches you blink, and then various actions happen in the game each time you blink. So it's a really cool interactive game. I know, and a completely different concept. It was like nothing I've ever played before.
Wow.
And it was really awesome. Like, they were able to tell a really interesting story through that. And I was thinking, like, how it's, I don't know, just how you have to break the mold in gaming, and those ideas are the most interesting.
So if like you'll blink and then like something will change on the screen to like progress the.
You should look up like the trailer, because I think you would be really interested in it.
Before Your Eyes, that what it's called?
Mm-hmm. It was like $10 on Steam.
Go on.
So I was thinking that. I was thinking about Among Us, like, which is kind of old news now, but I was thinking I wondered if there was a way, and also that the cases in Phoenix Wright, from like investigation to trial, to play the whole thing, it takes maybe an hour, like not super long. So I was thinking, what if you could play some sort of online investigation courtroom simulation game where you're either the jury or the defense or the prosecution, and you have to kind of just like, I don't know. So this is why it's a workshop-based idea. It's like, this is the game I want to play is a jury courtroom investigation multiplayer game where you're in one of, maybe actually there's also a judge. So one of these 4 different roles that you can be a part of, and you like watch arguments and you weigh them, and you watch testimony and you weigh it, and it's all in this like backdrop of like these preset cases or preset kind of experiences.
And then one of you is the executioner, and you have to lethally inject.
Press the button. But it's like the real executioner. So I think the way the executioner works is like there's 2 people. Well, so like in modern day lethal injection, it's like there's 2 people and only one of the buttons works, so you never know if it was you or the other person. I think this is real. I've not researched this.
I've heard something like that.
There's something like that. It's the same concept of like, it's just how people prefer to do executions. Yeah. But anyway, that is that's DLC content for the main game. I basically, this is the game I want, and I hate having games that I wish existed but don't exist.
Tell me about it. Yeah, no, I think so is it like a single, so you said multiplayer, like is it like there's a set number of cases and they're all the same for everyone, so it's like a story in that way, but I can just play with other people? Or is it more like I log into a server?
Yeah, I think it's more that.
It's like, hey, here's the case of the week,
and you get randomly assigned a review queue for one of those roles: prosecution, defense, or juror, or judge. So
you queue into a room, and there's there's 10 spots or however many spots.
And obviously, you take the court system and you gamify it. So what's about Phoenix Wright is it's like goofy. Like their evidentiary standards are nothing like the real world. A lot of the time they just confess on the stand, and the whole trial can only
I did it.
They're like, trials were taking too long, so we decided that all the trials can only be 3 days. So it's like it's only ever so long. So I think it would gamify some of those courtroom elements. You queue, and you basically just be suddenly in a courtroom with, I don't know, however many jurors plus 2 defense plus 2 prosecution. Anyway, you get a game that way.
So in your mind, how long is a game?
Like 45 minutes.
Okay, so it's like we got to get to a verdict within the hour.
Exactly. And
so the defense is like, all right, you're given a certain amount of time to like overview evidence or whatever, and then basically, so if I pick the attorney, I say, I'm either on a webcam or whatever, and it's like, listen up, everyone. This man right here, and
maybe like the first couple minutes is like an evidence walkthrough. Like there's basically a video that plays. It's like, on the night of January 3rd, Mary Berry was murdered in her bedroom with a clothing iron. Like, so you get kind of a feel of like what the evidence is, what the scenario is, and who the players are. And then maybe there are witnesses that are played by people
last night.
And then there's a kind of this argumentative piece. There's investigation. And I don't know. Play with this idea, Thieves. I really don't know what it looks like.
I love the idea. Okay, so here's a couple things. I love the idea of like a big fat object button. I object,
which would be awesome.
And like you get 3 of them. Like it's like
and then the judge's rule is like when objections happen, they rule on like who is basically muted and who's unmuted. I don't know.
I like the idea too of like audience people. So like I want to hop in for a little bit and kind of see. It's like who is being more compelling, the defense or whatever, and like so the jury. It's like, okay, so I see, and maybe the judge like maybe they're like indicating kind of in real time. They're like tapping something that's like they're swaying me, like I'm swaying left. No, now I'm swaying right. Like oh no, actually, this is compelling, and so like the jury is able to kind of get a sense for what the judge is feeling. They're able to get a sense for what the audience is feeling. And like that, it'd be funny. It'd be fun to work in fun ways to include people in creative scenarios.
I think if you could come up with a way to model a game like this, I think that it has room to be successful. That's
totally.
All.
Judge Andre.
Find it on Steam. $5.99.
Jury's out.
Jury's out's good.
Jury's out.
That rolled off the tongue.
We need more people, more thieves who happen to be game designers in our.
Actually, I don't feel like we have a ton of gamers even.
Yeah, there are a handful of things where it's like, man, if I was rich, I would just like take a crack at something or like find somebody and just like toss them. Exactly. Like, hey, could you like make a, here's $50,000 or whatever. Like, could you just like just put something together?
This.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, I think it's a good episode, Andre.
This was a good episode.
Thieves, if you want to reach out to us, idea@gostillthisidea.com or hit us up on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or wherever you happen to, want to engage with the podcasts that you like. You can rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Always helps. You can share us to your own personal network. Andre has a standing $2 Venmo. If you take a screenshot, especially if you're like not connected to us. If you're just like a stranger, if you just like, hey, this is a podcast, I think it's dope. If you post it on your work Slack or work, whatever you communicate with at work, Andre will Venmo you $2. We're not above it.
Even close to it.
Patreon, if you want to chip into the show, Patreon always helps. You can chip in $1 or $2 a month, however much you want. It's just a way to support creators like us. Keeps us motivated, keeps us going, and we make bonus content for you. Once you'll unlock like 3 or 4, maybe 5 episodes backlogged, so you can hear more about our personal lives and things that aren't just ideas. Did I miss anything, Andre?
I think that's all.
All right, thieves. Well, we love you, we appreciate you, and we will catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Use Scipio, the #1 engagement tool for sales teams that want more responses, appointments, and conversations. Message your leads and customers where they are on their phone. I'm not talking about phone calls. We're talking about true one-to-one texting. Use the code STEAL at Scipio.com for 2 free licenses. Use the code STEAL at Scipio.com for 2 free licenses. See you later, thieves.